first conference or not?
Second.
Second, okay.
Yeah. Last year I was new director.
Okay, very good.
And her picture's at the home office now, her and Vicki. They are pictured in the Heritage, what do we call it, Carrie? Tiffany? Used to be the Heritage Hall.
Yeah, the Heritage Hall.
Yeah, they totally changed that now, Kelly. But Vicki and Tanya's picture in the foyer of the home office.
Very nice.
Sorry, interrupted.
No. All right, so if we get started, let's just kind of do a round robin, and let's hear one thing you're going to start doing since conference. And I show Carrie in my first window, so we'll go to Carrie first.
Okay, in Nancy Joe's pre-conference, I really liked it 2 by 2 by 2. Thank them 2 days after the party. Contact your guests 2 weeks after the party, and see if they receive their products, and then 2 months and see how that product is working for them. And the gal that, I don't remember the gal that was talking about that, but I should look on my notes. But she said she doubled her business by doing that.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah. This didn't necessarily come from conference, or maybe it did. But I just need to quit procrastinating when it comes to, I'm not a very good host coach, I don't feel like. And so I need to get a better system. So I guess what I need to stop doing is procrastinating and calling them and keeping in touch with them. So I'm not sure I really learned that from somebody at conference, but I think I'm just feel like I need to quit. I need to do better and quit just procrastinating on that part. So,
you know what we should do, Carrie, is we should have you train on that. That's the best way to step right into that.
Yeah.
And good for you to recognize that.
Debbie Reason was the gal that did the 2 by 2. But
what's the name again?
Debbie Reason.
Okay.
You know her?
No.
Okay.
Okay, Tanya?
Well, same thing as Carrie, the 2 by 2 by 2, like calling 2 days after. But the other thing that I've already put into place is having at least a weekly call. I contacted all my team after I got home and asked them to do a phone call with them. And I wanted to let them know that I'm going to do coaching calls weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, if they wanted to do them. And I have 5 out of 13 so far that are going to do the coaching calls.
Great.
That's awesome. So those will be done individually, right?
Yeah, I'll do them individually. And then I told them we would do a monthly Zoom call all together with each of us, but that I would do individually to focus on things that they want to focus on.
And when are you going to do that monthly call? What day of the week did you decide?
That I haven't set yet. I want to get at least in the first week.
Yeah. I'm just always curious to see what's working for everybody out there on that. So you'll have to kind of keep us posted on that.
Yeah, I'm thinking because of the schedule with everybody, it's probably going to end up being a Sunday, just because several of them have little ones and just nights are hard for them.
Yeah. Very good. All right, let's go to Tiffany.
Mine is kind of team-based. We did a Zoom call like this the week after conference, that Tuesday night after conference. And one thing that we came up with is that we just want to Zoom together more, because one of my girls was from South Carolina, and that was her first time seeing me since she signed, and probably the first time I've seen her in 4 or 5 years. And just working on a call schedule, kind of like Tanya was saying with them. I've been trying to message some of my people and just say, I can't remember what class it was. I think it was Top Recruiters Tell All, maybe. And it was saying like a good time to connect with them is, when a new season's going to start, right when you first came back, and they give us a couple words to use. I'm so excited because I just got back from national conference. I would, love to talk to you. When's a good time? So I've sent that message out to a couple of them to initiate that. And one I need to contact, she said, after she moves on Monday, and I have another one that's actually on Kristen's team and further out. So I figured if I reach down to them, because I think Kristen now has a team built 3 or 4 lines down from me. So I feel like I'm getting further away from them and I don't know them as well. And I can't convince them to get on our monthly Zoom calls for our team meetings. So I we were talking about if we could just do a little bit more informal chatting via Zoom. And we'd even kind of thrown it out there, like every Tuesday night would just be a time where we work our business together, whether we Zoom in and push mute, and then we just kind of do like a power hour, or we kind of just chit chat and do like inevitably we'll come back to work stuff, but just to kind of keep fostering those relationships.
I love that because there's some accountability, and you could even offer a mini challenge right in the beginning every Tuesday, whether, I don't know, it's clean your desk, organize, make a few customer care calls. So yeah, I think that's great. Debbie?
Yes.
Are you with us?
Intensely. Can you see me okay? I probably should turn on a light.
You're fine.
I can turn on a light. Okay. Everything everybody else said is great. Oh, there's Michelle. I think that's Michelle.
Yes, I know.
That could have been any body part right there.
What was that? Your fingers? Michelle, that didn't look too good.
I missed it, whatever it was.
It wasn't good.
Well, my iPad was down. I'm trying to finish up this Facebook virtual party I'm doing at the same time.
It looked a little odd.
I am a little odd, so it's all right.
Well,
Sorry I'm late, guys.
We're glad you're here.
sorry, Kelly.
No.
It just hit me wrong.
Yeah, I know. I know what you meant.
I think that everything was good for me. It's always good, even though sometimes you think, oh, do I want to take the time to go to conference, or can I afford to go to conference? I always feel so much better when I go. And honestly, I don't know if I've told you this, Kelly, but I've told a couple people, conference this year for me felt more like conference used to feel. I could definitely tell that Doris had her hand in the mix, and it just made me feel good. But one of the things that I want to try to learn is the Evernote. Tiffany, you have to put a little smile on your face because I'm going to be calling you, I'm sure. But I've decided that I'm going to take some time every day, schedule in to watch YouTube. If you have any suggestions on something I could watch, Tiffany or Carrie or Michelle or Tanya or anything, Kelly, if I'm going to just look it up on YouTube. Is that a good way to go about it, Tiffany?
I honestly just started playing with it. Like I started making myself notebooks and then deciding what notes I wanted. I also went in the Evernote group and pulled up other people's notes to see if I wanted to save them and then edit them, because it doesn't edit theirs when you save it. And just start using their notes as mine and go from there.
Here's the difference between you and me. Age. And you're not afraid to do things, and I am. So if I just needed a good overview, because when we went to the Evernote thing at conference, it didn't really show you how to do it. It just showed you what it could do.
Okay.
Which really piqued my interest. So when I go in there, what happens with me even on Facebook is I get very frustrated because I can't figure it out. And I'll sit and try to do something for like 30 minutes. And I feel so stupid. And then it makes me want to stop.
Yeah, YouTube is definitely like I go to, like a lot of times when I don't know how to do something technologically, I'll go to either Google or YouTube and say, how do I fill in the sentence, and then just watch a video on it.
Okay. That's what I want to learn to do, because I think that it will help me. I feel like an old dog that's not learning or can't learn or won't learn the new tricks on Facebook, on virtual parties, on blah, 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 blah. So I need to stop feeling that way. I need to stop beating myself up about that and just delve in and do it. There you go.
Turn your if and when into how.
Yes, that was good.
That was a changer for me.
Yeah, and I'm excited to get his books.
Tiffany, do you know, can we have Evernote completely free? Because I tried to save something in there the other day, and it like popped up something saying that I couldn't save anymore.
I've never paid for Evernote, but at the beginning when I was doing a lot of saving, yes, I ran into that problem because some of the notes I was saving are attachment heavy. Like they have pictures and and like documents inside of them, which makes them bigger. And we do have a limit on how much you're allowed to have per month. So I'd be like, oh, I guess I got to stop.
Okay.
So, but I haven't run into that since like the first month that I did it. And I've been using it for over a year, probably closer to 2.
Okay.
Is it very expensive to pay?
I can't remember what the premium subscription is. I want to say like $5 a month.
That's worth
It's like $50 a year.
Yeah,
something
it's
like
not expensive. It's just that right now I haven't felt the need of what I need. Like I guess I need to look in and what the deal is with premium. Like today I saw someone say, "Can I put a password on one of my notes?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a feature of premium." So I just need to look at what the features are and decide if I need to do that. Right now I haven't found anything that besides that upload limit that I've run across. But I have a whole recipe. I have a whole notebook that's all my recipes. And so when somebody's like, "Where's that recipe?" I send them the link to my notebook. And then literally every page in the notebook is a different recipe. So it's a digital cookbook.
See, and that was the cool things that they showed us. And everybody like you, Tiffany, are so willing to share. So there's like this whole plethora of information.
There's a lot of information out there. Like I wanted to like be able to share my story. Like I have like a kind of a team building notebook. And so I wanted to be able to share that. And so like, I was able to take like, I think it was Christina Bailey's couple notes I borrowed from her. And then I made them my own. Like I just changed her language a little bit and I kept her pictures and it's now my note. So it just it took me a while. Like I want to say I did it over Christmas break and sat here like for 8 hours one day, just saving and organizing and moving. And once I did that, I was kind of set and I don't have to do a lot of maintenance to it right now. When the new recipes come out and I'll go ahead and save them over there. But really that's the only thing I have to do.
That's a good way to do it, kind of on that break. I like how you
Yeah.
when you're not maybe doing a lot of kitchen shows, things like that, to find that. And really, I mean, even if you break it down to smaller increments, I think you can get it done, you know.
Yeah, and I can always do a Zoom like this where we do a screen share and I can show you my notebooks or like an example of like what I have in a notebook.
But you know you're always going to be our technology person because it is ever changing, isn't it, Deb?
Well, when we were at Nancy Joe's, they started talking about Zoom meetings. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And like all my team, like heads whipped and looked like right at me. I'm like, I know, we're cool like that. We already do that.
Thank you too, Tiffany. Yes.
So I can look at your note. I can look at anything you have on Evernote.
Because I have all mine. Well, the links that I put out there. Well, I don't have a lot of private stuff in there. Like I have my kids' passwords to their touches or something like that, but I don't have anything like terribly private in there. If I shared with you the link to the entire notebook, you'd be able to access it.
Okay.
And so what I have on my team page is I have a file on my team page called Evernote Notebooks. So if they message me and say, "Hey, where's that blah, blah, blah?" I'm like, okay, go to the Evernote notebook named this, and it's in there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with YouTube. I'm going to start trying to learn just some of that stuff and just put it on my calendar every day for like, I don't know, an hour or something, just to sit there. And because I just get frustrated so easily. So I just go, okay, I'm not doing this now. And I get up and leave. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to learn it. And I'm smart enough. I have a freaking degree from college. I surely can do this.
One thing I love is when my hostesses ask me what they're like, okay, so what recipe are we doing? And I'm like, well, did you look at my host letter? Because the link to all my recipes is in there. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot. I got to look at that. And so I'll go back in and recopy the link. And the link is to an Evernote note that just has every recipe that I'm currently doing with all the ingredients listed.
Yeah.
Which that would be awesome. Yeah.
And I just copy and paste it, and I edit it as I desire. Like each new season, I'll take things off and add things, but it's just a very easy. That's just one of those things. I just copy and paste them the link and say, here you go.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a Tiffany Foreman on Evernote.
Okay.
Or a Tiffany Foreman wannabe. And a Tanya Cole wannabe on Facebook. And Michelle Gaddis Facebook.
That's the beauty, though. We've got people that we can kind of tap into, and we've got good resources. So that's awesome. Michelle?
You what?
You're supposed to share. I'm going to go to you. Share your best thing from conference.
Okay. One of my top things I couldn't find my little notebook, but one thing is not to be a shithead.
That's right.
And because
You need to explain that probably, because I don't know.
I do that a lot. It's what I was mentioning to Debbie earlier. Rory Vaden, he says, don't say, oh, I should do this. If I could do that, say, how can I get it done? If that's your goal, how could I get it done? Not, oh, I should do this, I should do that. So that's a should head, and that's what I've been. But that was amazing. Amazing. The other thing that I know Debbie and I briefly talked about, and hopefully gonna maybe get a director's call going with our team soon. So Tanya, kind of keep this in the back of your head, but went to a conference with Yvette Yeomans, who is amazing. And so talking about getting the team vision board going. And so we need to talk a little bit about that with our teams and kind of do something like that, because that's something we've never done before. And just getting the logistics of that all worked out. So I loved that. What else did we? I agree with Debbie, though. This conference was one of the best we've had in a very, very, very long time. Just the energy of it was amazing compared to other conferences. The way that I think like Debbie said, Doris was definitely, and to see Doris a lot was great and amazing. To have a director training like that caliber he just did a fantastic job.
He was really personable too, I thought.
Yes.
And it was good to look at too.
Yes.
Yes. And his mom was selling the books, right? She was the lady that was at the desk. Like Carrie, Deb, when you came up to Kayla and I, right before that, she told us that. She's like, I told him that all these girls would just think he was so cute and they'd want to buy his books.
I didn't want to stand in line for the book. So every time I went, there was a huge line. So, but I did get it online. So I just got that in the mail.
You did just have to ask Kayla to stand in line for you. That's what I did.
Well, I figured I wouldn't ask her since she was already standing in line for you.
Oh.
And hopefully you guys have all done your conference surveys and are putting that in, those highlights that you just said.
Definitely.
Done one. My email's messing up a little bit. I need to figure that out too.
With my team last Tuesday, we went through and we did kind of a wow, do it now. And so I was typing all their notes. And then we also at the end kind of talked about what we will do differently next year, especially since we already know the dates and it's going to be in the same place, and how we were able to prepare them. Like, did they feel prepared? Because it was me, Amy Johnson, and Laura Robertson. We do our meetings together. And then we had 3 new consultants with us, people who had never been before. So it was great to kind of hear their experience on it, because I feel like this was my 11th conference, so I don't look at it the same as they do. But there was, that's actually what I'm uploading right now to share with you guys as well, is what their wow, do it nows were. And the video that went along with our talk on Tuesday night. And so I told them, I was like, you got to make sure you do the surveys, and anything that the more times they hear it, the more likely it is that they will, make changes or enhancements. I mean, we just even said little things like there was nowhere to get a drink other than the line that was 5 million people long for Starbucks. And I would have loved just to have gotten a soda and a soda machine at some point in time.
There was a soda machine in the conference hall. It's $3 a soda.
Yeah, I mean, just something like that.
There.
I even mentioned maybe just a little bit longer breaks for us to find something to get.
Yes, that was another thing we said. Instead of just the 15 minutes, we needed a little bit longer time.
Restroom break, because I didn't want to miss anything, so I just held it.
Yeah.
So did they have little vendor events or little vendor booths, like with iced drinks? No?
We could get there were some water coolers to fill up your water bottle, and like we had already told people bring a water bottle. But there was really, I think I bought a Frappuccino at the theater. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that little teeny concession stand that was there. I bought it as we were leaving one day just to get a caffeine kick, but there was no way I was standing in lines at Starbucks or anything because that was ridiculous.
There was a little cafe in the corner of the convention hall as well. So we did eat lunch.
Did see that.
We did eat lunch there before our home office tour. We grabbed a sandwich there, and
we were able to purchase that. They had like a little thing at the hotel that we were at, and put a bottle of water cost $5.49.
Yeah, that's how we had a case. Kayla had brought a case with her.
Yeah, because she drove.
And then my girls actually took an Uber car one night, and they went to Target. And so they brought back a case and wine and snacks. And so that is something like we were talking about next year, how we think our timing getting there was good. We got there Wednesday, with plenty of time, because I did my home office tour that day. And that we still want to maybe next year stay Saturday night into Sunday so that we had more time to because I never got to go downtown this time.
I agree.
And I would definitely like to do that.
It made you feel more like you're in Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah. And thanks, Carrie, again for letting me tag along with you.
Of course.
Carrie's group a lot. Yeah, it was fun. We did go. We went into Chicago, and that was amazing because it just felt like you were in town.
Right.
Well, I know on even Wednesday, I felt like just super rushed because I did the home office tour, and then I was asked to sit in on a focus group. And the focus group was supposed to start at like 2:30 or 3, and we got back late from home office tour, and they were waiting for all of us, and then that ran over, and then we had to go, so it was just like one thing after another.
I kind of feel like that too. I never did visit Merrill. I didn't look at the surprise boxes. I didn't look at the product showcase.
I didn't
go to the cash and carry. I had no time to do any of that stuff.
Well, there wasn't anything really at Merrill.
Yeah, you didn't miss much at Merrill.
Didn't miss anything at Merrill, that's for sure.
Hi, Lydia.
Tanya, how was the focus group?
Hi, Lydia.
The focus group was really interesting. I felt like they were listening to our thoughts and our ideas. Some of the stuff they were already implementing, some of the stuff they thought was really good ideas and that they were going to look into. So there was like 3 different topics. One of them was with tech support and technology and about the knowledge and community center, how a lot of people don't know that's there or use it and utilize it. So just different things that they're looking for, to hear from us, like what we want to see and all that. So it was really good. I'm glad I got asked to sit in on it.
And you're glad you decided to go?
I am. I was so tired from home office tour, and I was being rushed, and I was like, I have no time, but I went, and John, I can't remember his last name. He gave me his business card, but he's like in charge of the people in the call support center, and he was so super nice. I mean, he talked to me and took me to the room, and just was very, very friendly. They all were. And one of the things they really liked, I had made a suggestion, and I had talked with a few other people, I don't remember where, but it had come up about when we're at a party and somebody wants to join our team, that they either won't order or they order just very little because they want to save their money for the kit.
Right.
And so we suggested, can somebody purchase a kit and it go on the host's party as credit for her, but not commissions for us, so that the host still doesn't, lose out on it. And it doesn't matter if we get commissions or not because we're building our team. And they really seem to like that idea. So I think it's something they're going to look at.
That is a good idea. I'm glad you
I
went.
like that.
Very good. Okay, Lydia, welcome to the call.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi. So do you want to share one thing that you're going to start doing since you've been home from conference, or?
I already did it yesterday. I said what Michael Reed said, if that doesn't light your fire, your wood's wet.
Good for you. And in your accent, it probably sounds just as good.
Yeah,
And then they looked at me like I came from Mars.
Really?
I said, you're supposed to be laughing at this point. And then they were laughing. I'm like, yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
All right, so let's do a round robin now. Let's start with Carrie. One thing that you're going to stop doing?
Oh, I already did mine, remember?
Yes.
Stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Very good. Okay, Tanya.
That has to be mine too. I procrastinate so much.
Okay, we'll pop over at Tiffany.
I mean, let's just go par for the course. I know I procrastinate. My method of procrastination is take a nap. So I did this week though, like the kids, I told them like, we can't go to the Ocean Breeze today or go to the water park or, things like that. I was like, I have to work in my office. I have not sat down all summer and got a solid day in the office. So getting them on board with that now that they're older, like they can fend for themselves. I just still need to feed them every now and then. So, and it's more like, I don't want to miss out on the fun either. Like, I want to go to the beach. I want to go do fun things. It is summer, but I still have a business to work too. So I guess it's more not procrastination, but I don't know what the right word is.
Because that's why I'm thinking you guys are being hard on yourself when you say that, because I don't think I would say anybody on here. It's really.
Maybe it's like a realigning of priorities.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And some days the kids are higher than, the show schedule, but I was looking at August going, I need to get on board. So I went on Tuesday, I went over to my friend Amy's house Tuesday during the day to plan for our call. That was Tuesday night. And I text every single contact in my door price slip thing. And I did a couple of them via Facebook, but I did most of them via text because I use Margo. And so one of the what is that thing called? A webinar that I took said that people answer on average a text message within 3 minutes, I think is what it was. And like a high percentage answer a text over any other method of communication. So that's why I went ahead and did kind of like a green dot, but it was more for texting. And then I did use a couple of green dots for people, and they were for people who were more out of town. So I was trying to get virtual parties or just a straight up catalog show for August. And one of my girls who's very good family friends with ours, and her parents have always done sales. And so she was like, nice sales technique, because when I said, I typically do shows on this day, or this day at these times, which one works best for you? She's like, you can't even say no to that. Okay, I'll do one. So it is just realigning of the priorities, because that day was totally like, okay, I need to focus on this. I need to get some stuff done. And the family fun is just going to have to be on hold today.
I think when you go through different seasons in life, I remember when the kids were little, I would like to get up and get it done too, because then I wouldn't have to think about it. Then we could leave and go do our outing. And I felt good because I had touched my business, whatever needed to be done. And I'm a morning person, but now, I can kind of adjust a little bit. But I just think you have to be aware of that. Know that you got to have that block time. You got to touch that business every day. Debbie?
My thing that I want to stop doing is stop making excuses and start believing in myself again, because I haven't for a long time. And I think that, well, I don't think I know. If I want to sell, I can sell. But for whatever reason, I haven't really wanted to for a long time. So I'm about to cry. Sorry. I just need to find my why again. And I say that I know what my why is, but obviously it's not, because it's not making me go. So I just really need to do some soul searching, definitely figure out what my why is. Because I don't want to stop selling Pampered Chef, even though I've said it to myself. Maybe I should just stop. I don't really want to, but I need to find my why again.
That's half the battle. I think you're mulling that over. I bet you kind of take a little bit of time and reflect. It won't take you long to kind of get that figured out. So thank you for sharing.
I made this. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is on my bedroom wall. And it is just all of these really cool signs that I've bought over the years that mean things to me. And that, like this Michelle gave me, says intentional. There's my cross. There's one that says, today is a perfect day for a perfect day. And believe you can, and you have and you're halfway there. It's just all my, I don't know, things that have always meant something to me, but they've been sitting away. And so I decided they're all hanging on my wall. It looks kind of crazy, but I'm going to bed every night and looking at them as I say my prayers, and waking up every morning and looking at them as I say my prayers. And I got to choose a good attitude every day, and I need to set my goals, and I need to remember that winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is, and remember that it's not about having what you want, but wanting what you have, and to set my goals high and to be determined, and that every long journey begins with a single step. And I mean, it's just things that are good for me to remember every day.
You know what it's like? It's like a live 3D vision board, Deb. I love that. I mean, and that word intentional, as soon as you put that up there, I mean, man, that kind of just went right to me, you know. So very good.
So that's to help me.
I have a
Yep.
wall like that too, Debbie, in my office.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have 5 of them right now.
I know my husband came home and I said, did you notice anything different? He doesn't look around at things like that. And I'm like, the wall! Can you not see the wall? Oh, he goes, that's nice. I have the best husband in the world, I'm telling you, but he just doesn't, things like that don't mean anything to me.
It's a guy thing sometimes too.
I know.
And you know who else noticed those things are your kids. I mean, talk about, without you even saying anything, if they look up there, there might be a message that grabs them too.
Yeah.
Grandkids, people that come in your house. I mean, yeah, you can get a lot off of that. So very nice.
Thank you.
Michelle?
Well, there are many things and many things that have been said. One thing big for me is just to stop sitting on my rear end. And it sounds simple, but I make those excuses like, oh, I'm going to do this first. Let me do this first before I do something else. And then I just end up sitting there. And
Is that procrastination?
yeah. So then it goes into the procrastination thing. So then it's 9 o'clock. So then my excuse is, oh, I can't call anybody after 9 o'clock. So I don't call anybody anymore. So then it starts over the next day, so that's what I've decided. So when I first started Pampered Chef, what I did, I made those 3 contacts a day, every single day. What I would do is I would write down the exact names of the people I'm going to call. So I started doing that again, because that was successful for me back then, and I know it will be again. So I've taken all my door price slips and I have them in piles, and I write myself a note. Call Susie today, call Vicky today, call whoever, call Carrie today, and actually I have 5 names on that list instead of just 3. And so, but if I can't call that, if nobody answers, I call the next 5 people in my list of door price slips, because I want to talk to somebody. And it is so hard. So then I've also started texting people, and just using more of a variety of ways, even though I believe the phone is still a great way to do that, but not as many people answer their phones nowadays. So then I say, okay, so then I go back to maybe some excuses, but so my people are on a list and I check them off when I call them. And if I don't get a hold of them, they go on my list again. So I just keep that running list going. There's one more thing I'm going to not do anymore, and that's judging people. I've gotten into that habit, and so I'm getting out of that habit. And
You
so
mean like prejudging them, whether they would want to be in the business or
be in the business or hosting a show. Sometimes I even do it for people that want to host a show. I'm like, oh, they're too old, they're too busy, they're too whatever, just like for the business. So both ways I've been doing that. So I'm done doing that.
good for you.
Yes, very good. Lydia?
Well, I hadn't done any freezer meal shows, and for whatever reason, that was one of the focuses. I had a conference to learn more, and I went to the workshop, so that was good. And I got some ideas there, but I had booked one before we went to conference. And but then when I got back, I was more excited about it. So I started today. I sent the first email and to get their spice order, and then I booked another one yesterday.
Wow.
For October.
Good for you.
She picked the menu. All the people that are coming were there. So they all picked the menu. I read all 7 menus, and they picked the soup and chili one. So they're all excited. They're all, so that was good because somehow I guess I had passed the hurdle in my head.
Good.
So that was good. So I have 2 freezer meal shows booked now. And I'm going to also, I love selling. And so because I love selling, sometimes I totally forget to tell people about, Pamper Chef, and recruiting is not, always there. I forget about it. So I need to be more intentional about that and asking all my hostesses again, because 95% of my recruits were past hostesses. Michelle was a past host right there. And so I'm going to make myself ask every host again and start there and remake it a part of my host coaching. Because, again, I totally don't even tell them about the kid anymore, because I'm so focused about having the $1,000 shows that, I'm doing that host coaching all based on that, and I don't even tell them about the kids. So I'm just going to refocus my show. I was talking with Julie and Kathy on the plane, and we were talking about using the outline cards for the shows that are online and kind of print them out, read them again, and kind of streamline your show, just like when you were a new consultant, so you don't forget to do certain things. And so I'm just going to rethink about what I'm doing, because I go out there, and just have fun. And I mean, it works for some things, but I think I want to just kind of refocus my show. And at conference, I mean, that Nancy Jo Ryan training, that night there was so much information and so much good stuff. I wrote it all down. But I think I would love to have another call with the people that have gone to conference after we've had the time to go through our notes and kind of share, the things that we wrote down. I just haven't had time to do that yet. But I know that there's so much more stuff that I wrote down that I said, when I'm going to go home, I'm going to do that. I'm going to remember that. So I haven't had a chance to do it. But I know there's so much more that I heard that was a good idea. So
what I loved, Lydia, when you said that you were going to go and use these outline cards, you know what that does for somebody who's looking at the business? It makes it so duplicatable for them too. And I think sometimes we get it overcomplicated, but if they know that's kind of what we're working off of, anybody can take those, and then of course they can tweak it and make it their own. So I think that's great.
Right.
And then I don't know if I shared this, but I thought this was great. I thought maybe I put it on our Downey page. Problems that are only procrastinated on are only amplified. Be the buffalo, which basically, if you can't get around it, then you need to go right through. That's kind of the buffalo thinking. And I just thought maybe it kind of was our little theme tonight with everybody kind of saying procrastination. But I think you guys have all kind of done a great self-analysis of your business, and you're already aware of what you want to change. And that makes you good leaders instead of sitting here thinking, no, there's nothing I can really improve upon. I think we can always tweak something. So that was a good share. All right. So for our final kind of round, we'll see if we can get around this, the final 15 minutes.
Did Tanya?
An idea.
Tanya
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Tanya shared hers. Okay. I forgot.
Yeah, I kind of follow my Brady Bunch squares and just kind of work. Now it looks like they've moved a little bit on me.
Yeah, they have.
I think it kicked me out for a little bit and I had to come back in.
Well, I'm glad you came back.
All right, so we're going to look an idea on how to get more people to conference from your team next year, or even what they would have liked to know, something like that. So let's start with Carrie. Are you live, Carrie?
Yep.
Okay.
She She's thinking.
On how to get more there.
Yes.
I think it's just, I mean, we have just got to start talking about it now, encouraging them to start saving now from every commission check so it doesn't seem like such a whammy. And just, I think those that go just need to continue to talk about it year long, you know, about what a difference it helped in their business, the networking, you know, the fun that it is, and that kind of thing.
And I think when they hear the buzz of the ones that went too, I think there's something like, oh my gosh, we really did miss the party, you know.
You know, and also I think it's important to show all the goodies that we received too. You know, yeah, you paid this much to go, but you're getting this kind of goodies back, you know.
Absolutely.
I did a breakdown. I mean, say your expenses are what, $800 to go. That includes everything, or, you know, whatever, and then break it down per month. And so I think I put that on Facebook. You know, our expenses were maybe around $800 or something. You break that down 12 months, you start saving right now, it's $66 a month. And so what else are you spending $66 a month on, you know, or more? You know, your shoes, your clothes, your Starbucks habits, your whatever it is. Everybody has those things that they probably spend too much money on. I mean, start saving that $60, $70 a month and you'll have it.
And really, one show, one catalog show, one virtual party. I mean, if they would just add that extra show, I think a minimum $100 is coming in right there, you know.
Exactly.
Tiffany?
When we talked the other night, our team was talking about the envelopes. We had a couple envelopes for some people this year, but what I encourage them to do is to PayPal me on payday. So if they want to do it on the 7th, well, you know, starting next month is going to be the 7th and the 21st, or just the 7th if that's the bigger one, and PayPal me a portion, and almost make it like your tithing where you just send me 10%, and then I'll put the cash in your envelope. So you don't have to remember it on meeting night, because I have a lot that will say, oh, I forgot to bring cash. So, and then I keep all the money here. So, and then what Amy and I had talked about doing is we would do a drawing every meeting. And if you brought $40 that night, and then we drew your name as the directors, we'll match it.
Wow.
Oh,
So, but it's not like, I mean, you had to have brought money, and then we'll match it. And then I also had thought I was trying to reintroduce what my director had always done with me back in the day when I first started going was, you got $1 for, you know, cash or conference, the $1 for attending the team meeting, $1 for every 1,000 in sales, $1 for every $1,000 show, new recruit. There's a bunch of different ones. And so we were talking about that again. We do this thing where they earn tickets, and we have 3 little prizes that they get. And the prize box is getting kind of empty, and I was kind of uninspired by the prizes that were in there. So I just need to work with Amy and Laura to see if they want to kind of go back to a cash for conference. You know, because we have 3 unrelated directors that do their meetings together, we'd have to have a little bit of a accounting there, which that would be on my plate to take care of. So either that, or we also do a monthly raffle bag, and that cash goes back into an envelope so that we can buy more prizes, so that we could just use some of that money too to go into the cash for conference. But really having them save, and then also understand that the money goes out in stages, because you register at one point in time, you do your plane ticket at a different time, you do your hotel at a different time, that it's not just like $800 all at once, but it is important that you save it all year long.
Kelly, does Pampered Chef not do cash for conference anymore? Did they not
No.
have? See, maybe they should reinstitute that.
Yeah, and I can't even really remember why that kind of went away. You know, I
It
think
wasn't a national conference anymore.
Well, yeah, there wasn't national conference.
Well, and I think there was even times in that there would be this money, and then if people didn't go to, you know, it was easy for them if they went to conference that they could transfer that, you know, to their registration. It's where it kind of got sticky, as if somebody said, okay, I'm not going to conference and I want, you know, kind of an accounting nightmare. I think it kind of became too, you know. But
To be able to figure that out.
Well, it used to just be deposited in your paycheck like the month before. Like it used to come like in June, maybe.
Right.
But I also like, you know, earn registration free of half registration. This year they didn't even do that.
So make sure you put that on your evaluation if there's a spot for other, or
I
even if
already did my evaluation. I forgot about that one.
I haven't done mine because I wanted to listen to what y'all said tonight, and then I'm going to add that to it too.
I think that's a big one too. I think there needs to be
Yeah,
some
half
way.
of conference, full conference, earn it. That is great incentive.
I know.
Well, we used to have a consistency club, like if you sold at bonus level 3 months in a row too. I don't. I just
Yeah.
think we should be able to tie in, maybe not the whole conference, but you could earn a portion, and if you did it 3 times in a, or 6 months, I don't know, it's just something to get some consistency going there, because people can come in and have one big month, but I hate it when they kind of teeter-totter. 1 month's good, and the next month they kind of fall off. The next third month kind of comes back up, but if they can just keep it level, I think it's better for everybody, all of us. Okay, Deb.
Okay, mine's gonna go back to how I'm feeling, which I know that if I'm passionate about Pampered Chef, then I can be past that. My enthusiasm can rub off on other people. And the last few years with the things that have changed with Pampered Chef, I've gone to conferences. I mean, the only conferences I've ever met was when my mom died or when my dad died, or when we couldn't get to Colorado because the road was shut down. But I've always gone in the past because I really enjoyed it. And the last few years is when I've gone because I felt I needed to go. I felt like I needed it for myself, and I felt like it was something that I should do. But in the past, when I was really passionate about my business, I know that I could get people to go because I was passionate about it. I would talk about it. I would offer it. I would be excited about it. So with this past conference, me feeling more like Doris was back in the mix and things were back on track, I think that can be bringing back, because I know, Carrie, you mentioned all the things we got, but there were many years that we went to conference and that went away. So that portion of it was not, used to be able to say, oh, you need to be a director because you get, to go to the director event. Well, now we can say that again.
Right.
You can be a director and you can go to this wonderful training again, or, I think it depends on how, and I'm speaking for myself, so I'm not trying to put words in anybody else's mouth, but the more excited I get about my business, the more I can share that and get other people to go to conference.
It's kind of you're resold, again. So
yes,
the benefits and what they're going to get.
Well,
value.
It's always helped me. But that's something you always kind of feel when you get back from conference. But I think if we're passionate about it, then we can share it with other people. And I'm not saying you guys aren't, because I feel like you are, but I'm not.
Yeah. Very good. Michelle.
Well, kind of the same thing. Just you have to be excited about it and showing the fun side of it as well, and the value, like you were saying. The workshops and are just, and learning from those top people are just, it's invaluable information to get and to see them in person and to talk to them and maybe get your picture taken with them or whatever it is. It's really fun and exciting. We need to bring all that back, but not only now, but all year long. And so then how do you keep that going all year long? The other thing I was thinking about is to have your consultants that went this year be talking to somebody else on your team. And so kind of tag teaming them to talking to other people and maybe saying, okay, you're my, focus in on one other person to kind of try to recruit to go next year.
Hey, Michelle, you just gave me an idea with your verbiage. When we're talking to consultants, Tanya, either through your, calls that you're doing or through our team meetings or through a Zoom, if we can always remember to say, I learned this at conference, or this is what I learned at conference, or this is what I've been doing since conference, then people are going to know, because a lot of times we learn it and we just teach it to people, but we don't say, I learned this at conference. So if we can use that verbiage throughout the year, either through our phone calls, like, Tanya, you were sharing, or through our team meetings, or just talking to each other, we can remind each other through the year, I learned that at conference, or this is something fun we did at conference, or this is what we, how it's done at conference. Maybe if we can just put that in our verbiage throughout the year, that might be helpful too.
And I always think the value of hearing Doris speak from stage, even for all of us who've been around, but a brand new person, there's just, oh my gosh, that does a lot of stirring in your heart, and you just feel really good about the company you represent.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah. Okay, Lydia?
They've said it all.
Ditto?
You guys are the best. I'm just going to do the same thing.
Very good. And Tanya, do you have anything to add?
No, pretty much the same thing. I was going to break it down like monthly, or every commission check, take a portion out of every commission check, put it away. But also sharing the experience with them, like at the director's luncheon. Sandy from Virginia here and we sat at a table with David Meenan, Tennille Eubanks, and John Johnson. And I was like, I would have never got that opportunity had I not been at conference. It was a great experience to sit there and talk with them. And that, Sharon Zellen was my inspiration last year to go for excellence in sales. And I think just going really helps. It helped my business, because had I not met Sharon, I don't know that I really would have focused on excellence in sales.
And I think that it's easy now to maybe kind of keep the buzz of conference, because you're kind of coming off the high. But it's, I don't know, maybe when you get November, December, January, February, we just, all the time, we just got to make sure you do some type of commercial or something that you're talking about it, and kind of keep it alive, the mission there. So, okay. Anything else before we wrap up tonight?
I have a question. I never got to go to that Rory speaker line because it was so long, and I just, like Carrie said, I didn't have time. I had to run to the next thing. So was that $30 special available after conference for conference attendees, or was it just there?
My understanding, it was just at conference.
Okay.
I have the paper. I'll go get it and look.
Did
You can
anybody
probably
buy that?
message him or email him.
Did anybody buy it?
I think
I
Debbie did.
I think we should do that as our next book report. I think it would be a good one for us to work through.
I don't know how to do a book club. I know Nancy Jo does them, but I've never been in on one, but I thought it would be great to do with my team. It's something that I wanted to implement with them, because I haven't started reading the book yet.
Well, I was in a class with Love Carpenter and Cami Cruz, and they were talking about strong start of new consultants, and one of the things they mentioned is they say, if you're in, if you want to personally develop yourself, there are other things you can do, and there are 4 books I recommend. Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden, the one that Nancy Jo's doing her next book club on, something like The Edge, something.
Yeah.
Okay. Start Late, Get Rich, Rich Fat, something like that. And then the 4th one was Total Money Makeover. So I liked that she, said that you could read those, and from what I was hearing from the girls who've already read Take the Stairs, they said what he spoke about, like, followed the book really closely. Like, we only covered a very small portion of it during his talk. So, I mean, my hand was about to fall off all the notes I was taking. And I know that I didn't have to, because I was going to get the materials anyway, but I still like to write it. But I think it was probably going to be a really good thing to do. And to do a book club, I mean, I've been in one before, like a more of a fun book club, but you can always Google, like, the title book club, and it comes up with questions to ask to get discussion going. So that's a thing that we could do if we're going to do Take the Stairs. Or I haven't sent the Nancy Jo thing to my team yet. I was thinking about it because it's getting ready to start here in the next week. But I was trying to decide, should I do the Take the Stairs, or should I let them do the one that Nancy Jo is talking about?
Well, he's got a new book too, Procrastinate on Purpose. Multiply.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, I think as a group here, I think we should do Take the Stairs. I just think you guys are coming off of that. I think
that would be good.
I think that's the one for us to do. It just seems a natural fit for us kind of to take it now.
Debbie, did you buy that stuff?
I did, but it doesn't say on here whether or not it's a conference special only. So I would take Tiffany's advice and just email him. I can snap a picture of this and send it to you.
I'm sure I still have it in all my conference stuff, but it's all piled on my desk. I haven't touched the thing since I've been home, so.
Lydia, if you find out, let me know, because I might want to get that too, okay?
That'd be great. Just snap a picture and I'll email him and ask him.
Okay, his email is not on here, but he's with Southwestern Consulting.
Yeah, I'm sure you could go to that, or like I think I emailed him when we were in the class that day. He said to email like bonus or I
Yeah,
can't.
I think I wrote that down somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it in my notes.
Mhm.
I guess another thing I wanted to ask you guys that just popped into my head is that we need to, I guess, solidify the date, or like, because Tanya, if you're getting ready to tell your team about like team stuff on Sunday nights, we have the rest of the Sundays, or the Sundays that we talked about back in January. That is going to be the Downey organizational dates. I guess confirming that that's still good with everybody. Michelle, were you still like? I've got the coordination of putting the Zoom number up, but I haven't been keeping track of who's doing what.
Yes, I think I do have that somewhere. Let me just see where that's at here.
Because
And
I
Jane-
thought we had it filled up,
Jane
didn't we?
McDonald will be on the next call.
And just making sure your teams have that date.
August 2nd at 8 p.m. Central Time will be Jane McDonald speaking. Right? Kelly?
Yes.
That is confirmed.
Yes.
Tiffany, if I want to go back and listen to past calls that I missed, how do I do that?
I usually post the recording in the notes if I recorded it
Where do I find the notes?
on the team page for just the directors.
Like the Downey directors page? Under files or what?
In the body of the, I post
You'll have to
them.
scroll down, probably.
Yeah, I post them in an Evernote.
Okay.
Let me see. I'll have to kind of scroll down too, but I'm sure we have that set for the rest of the month. Except now maybe when Kayla later in the year, Kayla was down later in the year, but she took last month. So we might need to find a spot, but I know Denise said she might be willing to take a call. So we might be able to plug her in there. So I will look that up and I can post that again.
Let's post it again. I think it just puts it out there for the last 2015
And
here.
really everybody needs, it's hard to get everybody to invite their teams, but if we can at least have everybody invite teams, that would be awesome. And then they can make a choice whether they want to be there or not.
I mean, from my perspective, like, I think it's really important that we're on these calls on the last Sunday of the month and that they're on that call the first Sunday of the month, and that we make every attempt to be on both.
Correct. I agree. Totally.
We're
And
missing some directors tonight, Kelly. Where's your sisters?
I'm not for sure where Cammie is. Christy, I know they are at the lake birthday parties with her kids, so I'm not sure what time they were getting in, so
Tell them we missed their smiling faces.
I will definitely let them know.
Christy looked awesome at conference.
Yeah.
And Lydia looked like $1 million right there. And Christy was going to change before going out for supper. I said, don't you dare. If I looked like that, I'd be out flaunting it.
Did Christy send you some pictures, Kelly?
Yeah, you know who probably I got the most from Deb.
Well, because her and I took a lot of pictures together of our watches, of our. Did you get those?
Yes, I did, and I posted one of those in front of the flowers. I absolutely love that, you guys. I think is that when you had your watches, and I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was hard to get pictures to go through in that auditorium. It was hard to get text out.
And
then I know once you get out, then you're trying to get meal, change, something. It's crazy. But I'm glad you all went. You had a great time. Hated to miss it. I know Cammie, she was kind of feeling out of the loop too. So we'll be there next year with all of you. So
Yes.
all right. So hopefully we can support Jane. That's why I said I would like to have our fullest call next week when Jane joins us. I think it would be great. So looking forward to it. And otherwise, have a great close to July. We're just down to the wire. I can't hardly believe the summer's
I
over.
know. I'm like 800 away from 6,000.
You can do it.
I know it.
Hey, Lydia, when you were talking about wanting to talk about recruiting more, has anybody seen that deal of the day with the kits on it picture?
Yes, that Marna Ross does.
I don't know
Ross, I
who
think.
created it, but I print it out in color and I put it in every single one of my folders that I give out to my guests at my parties, and my last 2 recruits have come from that being in my folder.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's the same one that it's been floating around for a long time.
It got updated, but I don't know if the kit has changed now with the new catalog.
Oh yeah, like with the new pizza cutter in it.
Yeah, I have the old, like what the current kits are. I can post that in our directory group if you want to see it.
Post it again. I think that's good for us to see that. So
I usually take that, and then on the other side post the recruiting incentive bonus.
Perfect.
Oh, another thing that I'm gonna start doing that in the Nancy Jorian executive time that we had with Marna Ross and Nancy, the girls that sold the top 5 told thing, and they're all breaking down big items by the price, by the month, by the week, or by the item. So like I did that at my show last night. I said, if you buy the block set next month at 60% off, you're getting every knife, everything in less than $20 a piece. Even the $75 knife. And so when you do it like that, and they're breaking the kit down like that, they're breaking the double burners and everything. They're dividing everything by numbers, and they sell so much more. And the thing for recruiting too, if you break down the kit and all that. So I'm going to start doing that. Give people more of a number in their heads. Like the big pot now that's coming out, if we break it down by month or week, they're going to realize, my goodness, this is cheap. Instead of looking at that huge $230.
Maybe by the week. Break it down by the week.
Right.
So what would
By
that be?
by the month, it's $19, which still isn't bad. I mean, these people are going to spend $20 one night at the McDonald's.
Yeah, and you can get a large yucky pizza for $20 somewhere.
the last thing I wanted to make sure you guys know too, I think it's fun to see how people's party averages go up that attend conference. And probably you're going to see that even at a higher with a new consultant. So that might be something fun for you guys to track your newest consultant that went to conference this year, and do a check-in, in November, and see what their party average is from now to then. I think, and even yourself, you can check. But I think at some point you kind of get to a certain point that if you can sell these higher priced items, it's going to add to those shows too. So. All right, I think we'll wrap it up and have a good night, what's left of it. And we'll hopefully see you all next Sunday, same time, same place.
I
Thank
will
you.
in Kansas City at a reunion, so I don't know if I'll be back or not.